Welcome back to the Anfield Exchange, and Liverpool, could they be back to winning ways? Look, I think it's a little bit early to say that, but we've definitely stopped the rot, if you will, the mini crisis that everybody seems to be sort of focusing on over the last couple of weeks. We've come out 5-1 winners last night. I think there's going to be tougher opposition that we play against than Frankfurt. It wasn't really the sort of Frankfurt team I was expecting to come up against. I think the majority of us expected a tough game. I think defensively they were quite poor. They seem to be having the same issues that Liverpool have been having this season. Conceded a couple of set-piece goals, opened up at will, which probably made Liverpool look a little bit better than what they actually were. But listen, you can only play what's in front of you, and we did that, and we got the result. So we come away with 3 points. We need to now take that momentum, take that confidence into the Brentford game at the weekend. In terms of the game itself, I want to start off and I want to just talk about Arne Slot and his performance, because he's come in for a little bit of criticism recently. I've given him some criticism as well, and I think that's okay. Like I said in my last video, I'm very much Arne Slot in. I think he can turn it around. And I thought his performance was positive yesterday. I think in terms of the starting lineup, it was an odd one. It left questions to be answered. I think those questions were answered last night, especially when you see Ekitike and Isak up front. We know there's been talks of Ekitike playing on the left, but then you see Gakpo in the starting lineup and you sort of wonder how that's going to pan out. I think it was clear the plan. When we had the ball, Frimpong was getting forward and creating effectively a four-man attack with Gakpo, Ekitike and Isak. I think, but when we were out of possession, obviously Frimpong was playing as a right back. I think Wirtz went out to right midfield, Gakpo left midfield. We sat a little bit deeper, and it actually worked quite well. Frankfurt struggled to open us up. They did do in certain moments, and they did create a few chances, but I think we definitely looked a lot more secure than what we have in recent weeks. But in terms of Arne Slot's performance, it worked well. We saw that Konate, we saw that Van Dijk scored a goal each from set pieces. I think that was part of Arne Slot's plan, to get some height into the team. That's why we had Isak and Ekitike and Gakpo. We had the height there. We had Szoboszlai, obviously Van Dijk and Konate as well. So I think not only defending set pieces is that a benefit, which we saw. We defended set pieces quite well last night, even though we didn't have to deal with too many of them, but also attacking set pieces. As you can see, we scored 2 goals from more set pieces. And to be fair, we had other opportunities from set pieces as well. So yeah, I think all in all, it was a very good team selection from Arne Slot. It was a good setup. It looked like he'd done his homework, as opposed to the Man United game where we just didn't look like we had a plan. It looked like we'd done the research on Frankfurt, and we got the answers that we needed. In terms of player performances, I just want to start off, because for me, I thought Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai, I thought were fantastic in the midfield last night. Curtis Jones for me was man of the match. I thought he was very good on the ball. He's passing. The way he controls the ball, I think that's exactly what Liverpool needed. The way he controls the game, I think that's exactly what Liverpool have needed in recent weeks. And this was very much a throwback to Liverpool of last season, where we got the early lead or we got the lead and then they would control the game. We saw aspects of that here with Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai, but we still created chances. Where one potential sort of criticism of last season was, yes, we were controlling games, but we didn't really go for the jugular and we didn't really create too many chances when we got into that control possession phase. Whereas last night we still created chances, but we still had full control of the game as well. So I think Curtis Jones was a massive part of that. Szoboszlai as well. I think them two in midfield were fantastic. Now, it was an easy game where there wasn't too much defending needed, so I think that helped with Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai. Now, whether that came from us keeping possession better, which obviously nullified their chances of creating opportunities. But I think, look, going into the next game, I'm not sure where Gravenberch is back at now with his injury. Is he going to be back for the weekend? I think what you've got to do, you've got to give this winning team, that's by far our best performance of the season. Yes, it wasn't the toughest game that we're going to come up against. But I think you've got to give that team the opportunity to carry on the momentum we've created tonight, and you've got to start him in the next game. And I know that's going to be frustrating for the likes of Mo Salah, but unfortunately, the best performance of the season, you've got to carry that on. And there's nothing. You can't make the changes now, because if we do make the changes and we bring Salah back into the mix and we bring McAllister into the mix and we don't perform, then questions are going to be asked again. We've seemed to have hit something very last night. So yeah, for me, you got to start that team against Brentford as well. And we know Brentford are physical. And I think last night's performance shown that when you've got that height in the squad, you can deal with the physicality of it, because Brentford are going to be pumping long throws into the box, pumping free kicks into the box. And if you've got the height, you can deal with it appropriately. In terms of other performances as well, listen, Hugo Ekitike I thought was brilliant until he went off. I'm a massive fan of Ekitike. I've said it on numerous of my last videos. I think Ekitike should be our first team striker. I don't think Isak's done enough in his appearances to earn himself a spot as our number 9 currently, whereas Ekitike has been brilliant from the moment he's come into the club. As well, what I would say is we know why Alexander Isak hasn't been up to scratch yet. Obviously, he's not had a pre-season. And listen, there's no harm in keeping Isak locked away and give him a pre-season. Give him his own pre-season, put him on an individual training plan to give him his pre-season. And you can still bring him on with 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of each game to build his match fitness up. But you've got to give him a pre-season. I don't want to see Isak until he's ready to play, and I think it's clear that at the minute he's not ready to play. Look, he had a couple of opportunities to score some goals, didn't take those opportunities. I have full faith that Isak will come good for Liverpool and it will work with Isak and he's going to score an abundance of goals for us, but he's just not ready to do it just yet. When we've got Ekitike, who he's showing that he is there, he's ready to score the goals for us. So yeah, listen, it's a long-term plan for Liverpool. Isak, Wirtz, they're all long-term plans. They don't have to come in and hit the ground running straight away. It would be nice, but it's not a necessity. And I think when you've got a player like Ekitike, you can be afforded time to just ease Isak into it. Robbo as well. I thought Robbo was very good last night. Granted, he didn't have too much defensive work to do. The goal did come from his side, unfortunately, and there was another opportunity in the I think it was in the second half. There was another opportunity in the second half that came down his side. I feel he probably will face tougher challenges than that, but he looked good last night. Certainly going forward as well, I thought he's definitely a better passer of the ball than Kirkes. I think his positional play is better than Kirkes on the offensive. But he will be tested defensively. So again, for the weekend, I'm starting Robbo in the left back position as well, and yeah, hope that he can look. He's got the opportunity to grasp and to take control of that left back situation and not become because he's been a mainstay in the team for so long, but he has the opportunity to maintain that the first team left back spot if he keeps performing well. So give him the opportunity. Let Kirkes again ease him into it as well, because he's been thrown into it and he's looked a little bit sort of off it to start with. But yeah, and Florian Wirtz as well. Lastly, I want to talk about Florian Wirtz because I think he looked okay last night up until he got the assist, and then it just sort of switched with Florian Wirtz. Once he got that first assist, he went on and got a second, but when he got the first assist, he just seemed to get confidence, and everything he was doing some nice flicks, some nice touches, and after that first assist, I thought Florian Wirtz was brilliant as well. So all in all, he had a decent game last night as well. So yeah, listen, it was a good performance. It was everything that Liverpool needed last night. But yeah, Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, they're the standouts for me. And yeah, Jones got man of the match for me. I know Van Dijk got given it last night, but for me, I thought Curtis Jones was the outstanding player on the pitch. A couple of things to obviously discuss as well. Obviously, Jeremy Frimpong walked off last night with an injury. I think that's potentially something to worry about. He was pointing to his hamstring, so we'll see reports on that either today or tomorrow, I would imagine. That could be a few weeks laid off, potentially getting us to the November international break as well. I thought Conor Bradley did well when he came on, but also again, like similar with Robertson, he didn't have too much defensive work to do, and it was mainly going forward. We haven't had that luxury in the Premier League on too many occasions this season. So interesting. I mean, he's going to start at right back against Brentford, you'd think, because Frimpong's going to be out. So yeah, a little bit annoying to see Frimpong go off. His second injury since signing for the club as well, which is a little bit frustrating. Isak was taken off quite early as well. I think Arne Slot, it's clear Arne Slot favours Isak in the number 9 position. And I can understand why. He's a fantastic player. And he's done brilliant for Newcastle. I would like to see Ekitike start against Brentford, but I actually think Isak's going to start, and that's a reason why he's took him off. Unless there was an injury that we've not been made aware of. But yeah, I would like to see that same team go through. But yeah, all in all, performance-wise, you've got to be happy with it as a Liverpool fan. I think we've answered a few critics tonight. It's now the point where Liverpool need to continue that momentum, continue that confidence, and take it into the next match, take it into the upcoming matches, and we need to go on some form of run now, because the season, the last few results haven't ruined the season. It's still so early in the season that Liverpool can come back. We're only 4 points behind Arsenal. Liverpool can come back into this and get back into the... I'm not even saying we're out of the title contention, because we're not. I think performance-wise, we look like we are out of it. But if we can now start to go on a run and start to play the way we played last night, then I think we're definitely back in with a shout of winning things. And look, over the next couple of weeks, things can change so quickly in football that over the next couple of weeks, if we're looking 2 weeks down the line, we might be 2 weeks down the line thinking Liverpool are back, Liverpool are brilliant, and we're all praising them. Do I think some of the criticism that Slot and the players have come in for have been a little bit unjustified? I don't actually think that. I think that Arne Slot has made some rash decisions. I think he's made some silly decisions in his team selections and in his substitutes and in his tactics. But Arne Slot's paid to manage Liverpool Football Club. I'm not, so I'm not going to criticise too much. I think he got it spot on last night. The only downside to last night, I thought, was the substitutions of Salah and McAllister. I get it. I understand why he's done it, because those are the games where Salah could get a goal and it could completely turn Mo Salah back into the old Mo Salah. Because it was that sort of game where chances were being created, and I think Salah got a couple of chances himself. And McAllister, look, these are two players that have been out of form. I understand them coming in last night to try and get a bit of confidence into them. It would have been nice to see the likes of Endo maybe, but certainly I would have liked to see Gakpo come off for Rio Ngamoa. Rest Gakpo. He's going to start at the weekend against Brentford. But yeah, it would have been nice to see Rio. It would be a perfect game for him where he can come in with no pressure and just attack. And I think that would have been great to see Rio last night. But it wasn't to be. And like I say, that's me being a little bit nitpicky with Arne Slot. I thought he got it spot on last night. Despite I asked questions when I saw the team selection, I didn't understand it. But yeah, it worked out well for Liverpool, and I thought we were brilliant. But yeah, let's see how we get on now. Let's see how that momentum continues. Let's see if we can take that into the Brentford game and then into the games after that. But time will tell. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think of the performance last night. Let me know who your man of the match was as well, because I think Curtis Jones, for me, was by far the man of the match, probably followed by Szoboszlai. I thought them two in the game were sensational in comparison to what we've seen in recent weeks. But yeah, get in the video. Let me know. I'll see you on the next one.